Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Happy Thursday, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here for our Thursday 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. Thank you, everyone, for joining me here today. We got a lot on the plate for this afternoon. We're going to be looking at that rain chance later into the weekend. We're also going to be looking at the winter outlook that was updated today from the Climate Prediction Center. See how that sort of looks for us when it comes here to the next couple of months. And obviously just be looking outside right now. We start off looking at downtown Flint, where off in the distance you can see those blue skies. Lots of sunshine across the state here on this Thursday, and hopefully we continue to see that trend. I do want to look across the state just a little bit here. We're going to start off with downtown Saginaw next, and what you see is a pretty similar image in the sky. It's those clear, sunny skies here in Saginaw. Then down to the south, we're moving into Detroit, where you're also seeing clear and sunny skies here on this Thursday. It really looks to continue to be the picture for a majority of our afternoon. Not going to count a few clouds later in the day, but definitely looking to be on the sunnier side as we get through the rest of our day. That obviously changes, so if you want to enjoy that sun, I'd get outside today, because we are going to see more rain chances for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That may end up making a pretty wet weekend, something we obviously need with the drought that continues to build itself across the state. And actually, we'll take a look at that too as the drought monitor updated this morning. So let's look at Sky Tracker. There isn't much to see. There's a few light clouds trying to develop off of the bay right now into Huron and Tuscola counties. Very light, if anything, is forming in those areas. Otherwise, again, seeing lots of that sunshine across the region. We'll just zoom out just to see what's going on across the Great Lakes, out to the west side of Lake Michigan. Just that cloud cover out there in Wisconsin, that is going to start to move in. Again, we have a low pressure system. We have some more moisture. Really just not lining up to be the nicest days as we get through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will have, again, more cloud cover as we get closer and closer to really Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, in terms of temperatures across the board, we are on the cooler side. It's definitely more fall-like as you're getting out and about. Mid to upper 50s with some lower 60s starting to get splashed in there. It looks like Midland, Gladwin, Standish, West Branch leading the way at 61 or 62. Clare is also at 62, but not by much. We can see Saginaw 59, Flint 59, Owasso now up to 60. So we're not that rangy across the state. Just enough where it's at fall-like weather. We're right at average for this time of year. I think most people can enjoy it. I don't think it's too hot, but it's not too cool compared to maybe what we'll see here over the next couple of weeks. I say get outside and enjoy it, because obviously we are getting into that time of year where snow may be right around the corner. Looking at winds, they are on the calmer side for today, mostly out of the north at 5 to, we'll say, 10 miles per hour at most, and even most of our winds are 5 to 7 miles per hour. So hopefully that continues through the rest of the day. I will highlight winds are going to pick up into this weekend. I'll have more information on that here in just a little bit, but definitely on the calmer side today. Again, that changes as we head through the weekend. Maybe a windy day on Sunday that we just have to keep an eye out. Definitely going to be first alerting you to that day on Sunday with the winds. Now, through the rest of our afternoon, skies should remain clear through sunset. Sunset will sort of come. We'll have clear skies through 7 to about 10 p.m. It's after that we finally start to see the signs of that low pressure system really show itself. It's not much. It's still dry, but partly cloudy skies. There also will start to be a chance of some rain through the night into tomorrow morning. That will start beyond 1 a.m., most likely as early as 2 to 3 a.m. We'll obviously see how that sets up. There's still some question marks, but it does look like we'll have that rain chance tonight into tomorrow morning. And with that cloud cover, temperatures look to stay back into the mid to lower 40s. There will be a few upper 30s, especially to the east, where I think cloud cover reaches you a little bit later in the night, so you do have some more time to lose some of that temperature. But for a majority of the region, yeah, it's those mid to lower 40s as we're getting out and about tonight, and then as we're getting out and about for our Friday morning routine. Warmest temperatures will definitely be towards 127, but even Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, not that far behind. Now quickly, I'm going to take a look towards our weekend. Just a quick highlight. Again, both days look to be rainy, Saturday and Sunday. So that obviously could end up some of our plans. I know obviously Central Michigan's in town. Their home game versus Bowling Green this weekend. I'd imagine we have other colleges and obviously high school sports for Friday into Saturday. So definitely have that rain chance. And again, it's windy. We can see wind gust on Saturday. Southwest 10 to 15, gust up to 25. And then Sunday, southwest wind 10 to 20, gust up to 30 plus. And that number, that gust number, we may have to keep an eye on just to see if it wants to creep up to 40 or maybe even 50 miles per hour at times. Models have been suggesting we could see that. Obviously there's not agreement all over the board when it comes to those stronger winds, but I definitely think it is a possibility that we have that chance. Now, I am going to take a quick break real quick. Once I come back from that break, we are going to be looking at that winter outlook for 2025/2026, see how it plays out for us here in mid-Michigan, and see how it plays out across much of the country with that outlook. So make sure you stay right here. I'll be right back with that winter outlook. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here. Going to be starting off looking at our winter outlook that was updated by the Climate Prediction Center for really this morning's when they updated it. I do want to highlight though real quick, this isn't a forecast. It's more of just a probability chance. Things can obviously change, especially on a more short term as we get through these sort of outlooks. So just because you're going to see it says colder than average or warmer than average does not mean that's the forecast. It's just what is the likelihood that we could see either of these outlooks. Now, I am going to take it full screen here for you. We're on the Climate Prediction Center website. You can go look at this yourself. But again, seasonal temperature outlook, we're going to start for November, December, and January. So the end of 2025 into 2026. And what it holds is a lot of the country is looking to hold warmer than average probabilities. Again, it's not a forecast. That doesn't mean we're going to be seeing 70s and 80s through November, December, and January. But it just means we're going to be more likely, as of right now, to see those above average temperatures. Again, we get through some of these month average temperatures start to drop into the 40s and the 30s, so above average really isn't that much. So just because you see that above average doesn't mean it's going to be a warm start to the winter at least. It will definitely be the possibility that we're warmer than our average, but doesn't mean totally. We may have weeks where we get very cold. It just takes one system to change everything sort of 1 week at a time. Now looking at precipitation chances on the outlook for November, December, and January for again 2025 through 2026, it is holding us to see higher probabilities of being above our normal precipitation levels. Obviously something we need. We need some rain, we'll need some snow to help fight off that drought that continues to expand itself across the region. Luckily, we didn't see much expansion today, and again, I'll highlight that. I'll show off the drought monitor here in just a little bit, but we need some rain, we need some snow, we need to get that moisture back into our soil to help sort of get back on the right track when it comes to the drought. Now let's take a little deeper look into winter. So now this is going to be December, January into February. Our seasonal temperature outlook is showing us equal chances of being warmer or colder than average. So it could really flip either way. We're getting into that La Nina, so we could see that sort of blow shift a little bit farther east if we can get that set up. But for now, the Climate Prediction Center doesn't really see anything that's telling them that there's a trend for December, January, and February. But obviously, we've trended away from that above average probability that we saw the previous few months. Now, in terms of precipitation, we continue to hold on to that above probability chance of seeing above average moisture levels, precipitation levels. Again, what we want to see. I know not everyone likes that snow, and I know we don't really want to see super heavy snow, but we do need some. Obviously, if you have travel plans out west, they're looking like they could get hit pretty heavy, and that's really what we expect with our sort of pattern in the atmosphere. Is that is an area up there towards Montana, Idaho, Wyoming that could see lots of snow. So obviously those are areas that you start to get lots of skiing and winter sports. Obviously they're going to be wanting to see that snow. But for us, again, holding above normal probabilities of seeing above average precipitation for December, January, and February. Then for the last one, I did want to look at sort of January, February, and March. In terms of temperatures, again, still holding on to that equal chances of being above or below our average temperature and probability. Again, we could start to flip. It could take one system and we're below average for a week or two. I mean, it really could end up being that this winter is going to be played at 1 week at a time instead of more long-term where, hey, we might get a few weeks where we're sitting at average, we might get a week or two where we're above average, and one low-pressure system comes in, gives us snow, gives us some colder air, and then we're right back below. And usually we see that below temperature out to the west. That could give a signal that we may end up trending that way because systems will like to develop there north of sort of the Dakotas and the Montana area, move our way as we get sort of through January, February, and March. In terms of precipitation, not much change for us. We continue to hold on to that sort of probability of being above average for our precipitation, above normal. So again, that's a good sign for anyone that really is having struggles with the drought. Hopefully we continue that trend. And again, continuing that trend for areas out to the northwest, Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, seeing pretty similar probabilities of being above average for their precipitation. So just hoping that if you're someone that wants to fight that drought, we continue with this trend. Now, I'm going to take back to me here real quick. And I'm going to try to load up the drought monitor, see what the updates were for this morning while we're looking sort of at this pattern. And what I'll say is there hasn't been much change. We're still seeing that sort of large area from sort of right around Bad Axe all the way out to Lake Michigan, now moving maybe a little bit farther south. I don't remember exactly what last week's drought monitor looked like. I do think this moved a little bit farther south. That severe drought, we've kept this sort of strip of moderate drought, and then still having southern Saginaw into northern Shiawassee counties and Genesee counties actually holding abnormal drought. So remember last week, this area that I'm pointing out right now to the south of Saginaw, that was an area that was in the moderate drought. So you actually got some improvement last week. We didn't see much improvement into this week. It's actually stayed the same. And again, I think widespread, not much changes. Still seeing that moderate drought maybe grow a little bit to the north. This weekend, I think will help. We will see some good amounts of rain, hopefully, into Saturday and Sunday if everything continues to play out like it's showing. And that could help some areas, especially like Shiawassee County to our east, where you're in that abnormal, you're not as far behind for your rain total. So one good rain could get you back on track, or at least closer to getting back on track when it comes to our drought monitor. I think we're going to need a little bit more to our severe drought areas, including, again, just west of Bad Axe, Bay City, Midland, Saginaw. But I think it puts us in a better spot than what we were before this weekend when it comes to this drought. And hopefully we continue to see more rain chances, which I will say next week there's a few rain chances. Hopefully we can continue to build on to these rain chances and we can see this drought go away. And then as we head into the winter, that can be good recovery with that snowpack melt at the end of winter. And hopefully we can start next year not seeing much drought. Obviously, we've fallen behind a little bit. Obviously, last year at this time, we were pretty similar in some areas, especially Bay City. I believe off the top of my head, you were in severe drought at this time last year. So obviously, need some more rain. We'll get some chances. into this weekend. And I am going to take another quick break here. After we get back from that break, I am going to be looking at that rain chance that we have heading into this weekend, those stronger winds that could be on the way, and just a little bit more on that rain. So make sure you stay right here for those updates. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here again to look over the next couple of days, especially at some rain chances. Now, looking at our highs for tomorrow, it looks to be another average day. You do get a little warmer out to the west, some upper 60s towards that 127 corridor, and even Shiawassee County, Owasso down to Perry, and even areas if you're getting a little bit farther west than that, Langsburg, probably going to be in those mid to upper 60s for our Friday. Now out to the east, you do get a little cooler, lower 60s. That's, again, right at average for this time of year. We're going to really quickly highlight some of those wind gusts. Not so much today. Again, it's going to stay calm through the rest of our Thursday. It's into Friday. I think I mentioned this yesterday. We start to see the first signs of that sort of pattern change into our weekend with that low pressure system. And it starts with our wind gusts picking up Friday afternoon up to 15 to 20 miles per hour. Definitely a noticeable breeze as you're heading out and about for maybe just Friday plans. Maybe you're heading to Friday night lights. That is going to be a factor for Friday afternoon. Then we get into the weekend. This is Saturday morning, still 15 to maybe 25 miles per hour, so a little bit stronger some areas. This is where we'll get some questions. I think there's still some debate about how fast our winds can get into Sunday, because obviously this weather model, has it 15 to 25 miles per hour, maybe a little bit stronger than that at times in the morning, right around midnight for Saturday night into Sunday morning. But if I take a look at another weather model, what we see is it's a whole different story. 2 a.m. wind gusts, 35 to 40 miles per hour in our southern counties. So there's still some movement with this low pressure system. It hasn't quite figured out, and we won't really figure out where it wants to sit until it moves in this weekend. But it will matter where it's at, because obviously if it's moving in this sort of direction as this weather model is showing, we could see those stronger winds from the south. This is 6 a.m. wind gust up to possibly 50 miles per hour. Again, there's some things that are definitely going to change, but there is that possibility. I'm not going to count it out that we could see wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour as we get through Sunday morning into about Sunday midday, and then through the afternoon Sunday, wind gust up to 35 to 40 miles per hour. There's still some questions, again, about that low pressure system's exact sort of setup as it gets across the Great Lakes states, but there is that possibility of seeing those stronger winds. Looking at our highs for Saturday, it's back into the upper 60s to the north, the lower to mid 70s down to the south. So definitely a little bit warmer as we're getting through our Saturday afternoon. That definitely looks to be the warmest day of the weekend, Sunday, with that low pressure system starting to pull itself out of mid-Michigan. We see temperatures drop back into the 60s. Now looking at our rain chances for the next couple of days, again, not much this afternoon. Lots of sunshine. This is at 10 p.m. Should still be seeing clear skies. It's going to be after midnight. Cloud cover starts to roll in, and then we start to see our first rain of sort of that 3-day period into the weekend. This will be early Friday morning, 3 to 4 a.m., seeing light to moderate rainfall. It looks like it could stick around for areas, especially towards Huron and Sanilac counties, through about 9 a.m. We should be dry through a majority of Friday midday into the afternoon. You may catch a few isolated showers late Friday afternoon, but looks like most of that late rain chance moves away. It's into Saturday afternoon. We see our next sort of round of rain. This one looks to be more widespread, maybe more long-term as we get through Saturday into Sunday. This is starting at 2 p.m. There's still maybe some timing questions, but I think we're starting to sort of shrink on that time, get a better read on the timing for rain. I think it's going to be Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, then Sunday morning. We can see from this weather model that rain chance starts to pick right back up by 6 p.m. and then continues to be something we see widespread through Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. This is 10 p.m. seeing that rain chance pretty heavy in some areas from Bay City down to Shiawassee and Genesee County. Now, in terms of severe weather, we're still really doesn't look to be the greatest environment for that. I do want to quickly show that the Storm Prediction Center does have a non-severe thunderstorm risk. So I think for Saturday, right now the setup, it's going to be strong winds, some heavy rainfall, obviously, with the moisture that we have in the atmosphere. But I think that severe weather level looks to be on the lower edge. I'm not going to count it out quite yet. We'll have a better idea here over the next day or so. But Storm Prediction Center keeps that marginal risk to ourselves. I think for now that is a good sort of read by them to see, hey, I think we may not have as much energy to the north. I think the southern half of this system may keep a lot of that energy towards Indiana, Ohio for that marginal severe weather risk. And again, long term, actually we'll go back to our hour by hour as we head into Sunday. Again, just showing that rain chance moving through, and then we get into Sunday and still seeing rain on and off through about midday. Then it does want to start to move out. We'll see how early it does move out. I think that's our next sort of question to answer, because I think every model is a little bit different on that timing. I think it's going to be probably later in the afternoon we see that rain chance move out. But by Monday morning, it should be gone. We should have drier conditions into Monday and actually have some sunshine for Monday afternoon. And then just have to keep an eye on another rain chance for Tuesday as another low pressure may follow itself into the region. And I know I don't want to highlight it, but I always like to look at it up to the north. Seeing some snow. Luckily, we should be warm enough. We'll avoid that snow chance. But it's getting to that time of year where we start to run these hour by hours, and you're starting to see some areas pick up on that snow chance. That will stay far to our north. Canada can have it as we get through this weekend. I do want to take a look at our 7-day forecast real quick. And again, just showing those rain chances for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, a windy day on Sunday. And then dropping back to the 50s for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And we'll have another rain chance again Tuesday into Wednesday. So I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, you can watch us on our YouTube and Facebook pages at WNEM TV5 News. You can head over to our website at WNEM.com. There you can catch more updates from sports, weather, and news. You can also watch our live streams. There's a live stream tab right on the top of our website. There you can watch our 2 p.m. streams and any of the other content that we have going live here, especially at the First Alert Weather Desk or the First Alert live stream desk. And again, we'll have more updates on our weather. If you download the First Alert Weather app, you can scan this QR code right below me. That will download that app. We always send updates, especially into this weekend where we have that rain chance and people may want to get outdoors for that. But as always, I hope everyone's had a wonderful Thursday. Hopefully you continue to have a wonderful and lovely rest of your week into your weekend. Make sure you have that umbrella ready for those rain chances, and just make sure you hold on to that umbrella tight as we head into our Sunday.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.